First thing we're going to do is remove the hood from the machine. We're just going to set it aside for the time being. Next, we're going to mount our solenoid. We found that right here in this plastic is the best place to mount it. You can mount it anywhere you'd like, but this is just the most ideal for our installation today. You're going to want to grab your Y splitter as well as your wireless receiver for the remote. We're going to take the Y splitter and plug it in to the wire coming off of the solenoid here. Let's go ahead and fully tighten it just like that. Then this next step, we're going to find a place to mount the wireless receiver. Again, you know, there's no right or wrong way to mount this as long as it's in a good place where it's not going to get wet. I like to get it up here on the frame. You just take a big zip tie, just like this. Just run it right through here, put it onto the frame, and then just make sure that this blue wire is standing straight up. So right there, that's gonna be good. Then we're just gonna take this wire and just kind of tuck it. Just like this. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like I said, you know, you just want everything to be in a good place to where it's not gonna get wet. Then we're gonna go ahead and grab our wired remote, plug it in to the Y splitter as well. Same exact way, and just rotate it till it slides in. Tighten the screw down here. Then we're going to go into the inside and pull the front fascia of the dash off, and we're going to slide our remote through the firewall into the dash. We're going to remove the front portion, the fascia of the dash. We have an anti-marring tool here. We're just going to stick it in between the plastic. Just kind of work it around until it pops loose. Once it pops loose, you can just go around, pull all the tabs out. We'll just lay this aside for the time being. Then we're going to head back out to the front and feed our wire through here. What we're going to do, we're just going to start pushing this through. Once we got it pulled through, we're going to go ahead and install the wired switch. You can mount it anywhere you'd like. A lot of people like to mount it right here next to the shifter. We mount it right up here next to the cup holder. We found that that's easiest. Grab your hot and ground wires provided in the kit. We're going to run our wires down to where the winch is going to be from the solenoid. We're going to start with the ground wire. We're going to attach it to the yellow stud. There's the washers here. Put the washer back on. You just want to hand tighten the nut. That way you can rotate it either way that you need. Then grab the positive cable. We're going to attach it to the blue stud. Again, remove the washers. Place the cable on, put the washers back on. And tighten the nut. Then we're going to start feeding the wires down. Right through this hole here. And you'll just feed it all the way down towards the differential. We're going to take the other set of wires. Starting with the ground wire, we're going to wire it into the black post. Same exact way that we wired the other ones in. Remove the washers and reinstall the washers in the nut. We're going to grab our hot wire, connect it to the red post. Next, we're going to locate a key-on power source to power up the solenoid. What we like to do is start the fuse panel. So we'll just remove this. We'll remove these two plugs here. Once they're removed, you want to take the caps off of them. Like this. There's a little tab right here that you'll have to pick up on to get these caps off. And we're going to take our test light, find a good chassis ground. We're going to use this bolt right here. That's where we're going to ground to. Make sure it's on there good and tight. And we're going to go into each of these connectors and check for power. The key's off right now, so we don't have anything there. Nothing going there. Okay, so now we're going to go in, turn the key on. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to go through and probe all of these wires. Okay, so that one's hot with the key on. And then this one over here is hot with the key on. So you can either use this wire right here, the blue and pink, on this plug, or the blue and pink on the other plug. So just to make sure, we're going to shut the key off, and we're going to make sure they don't have any power to them with the key being off. None of them do. So it looks like we're good. The blue and pink wire is going to be the one that you can use, and like I said, you can use them on either plug. And you can use a T-tab, where you can splice in and couple it together. We're going to go ahead and splice in and couple them together, and then we're going to hook it up to our solenoid. This concludes the wiring portion of the install, so we're going to go ahead and reinstall our fuse panel. Just like this. We're going to go through and make sure all of our connections are very tight. Then we're going to go ahead and start removing the bumper. We're going to remove all the hardware, fastening it to the frame. There's going to be a bolt here, as well as down here. And then the same places on the opposite side. Then remove the two screws located below here that hold this bracket on. And you'll just want to set this aside. Once you remove the hardware, go ahead and remove the bumper and set it aside as well. Remove these 4 bolts. Then the plate. So we have our winch mount and our factory hardware we just removed. We're going to install it, so this flat portion here is going up against the machine to line these holes up. You're going to make sure that you use the innermost holes. Then go ahead and tighten the hardware. We're going to grab our side brackets for each side, and then 8 M10 by 30 millimeter bolts and 8 M10 nuts. We're going to go ahead and start attaching these. There's only one way they can go. You need to get the one that orients like this, that angles inward, so it'll sit up against the flat on the winch mount, and the holes will line up here in the center. So you'll take your bolts, drop them through, grab a nut. Just continue doing this all the way around for both sides. Next, we're going to grab our Fairlead plate, our M8 hardware, and we're going to go ahead and attach it to the winch mount. And put the bolts in through the top here. Go ahead and start your nuts. And we're just going to leave it loose. Now we're going to grab our winch and lay it up on top of the mount. We're going to grab our wires. We're going to take our insulator caps, slide them down onto here. kind of slide them back out of the way for the moment. We'll do this for the hot and the ground. Then we're going to look on our winch over here. Into the rear, towards the machine is going to be our hot wire. Towards the front, that's going to be our ground. So we're going to go ahead and grab our ground wire. And remove the nut from the stud on the winch. And one washer. Leave one on the stud there. Slide this on. At this point, you want to go ahead and fully tighten the hardware for the winch. On both of the terminals here. So now we got the hot wire. Slide it on the stud. Leave one washer, then put one washer on top of the connector there. Go ahead and put our nut back on. And we're going to go ahead and fully tighten both of them. And we're going to put our insulator caps over top the stud. Next, we're going to grab the provided hardware that comes with the winch. We're going to use the washer, then the lock washer, and then the head of the bolt. We're just going to stick it up through. Line the holes up. Go ahead and hand tighten all of these until you get them all started. Once you have them all started, go ahead and fully tighten all the hardware that secures the winch to the winch mount. Grab the Fairlead that was provided with the winch kit, as well as the hardware. You want to orient the hardware like so. Washer, lock washer, then the head of the screw. Make sure that the side that has the wider hole is facing away from the machine. Slide your rope through the winch mount and slide it through the Fairlead. Put your screw through the hole. Go ahead and start a nut on one side. Just like that. Then do the same thing over here for this opposite side. Then we'll tighten the Fairlead plate that attaches to the winch mount. Grab the stop block, the clevis hook, and the pull strap. Remove the cotter pin from the clevis hook and line it up. Slide your pin back through. Put your cotter pin in. Just bend the cotter pin over away from itself. Just like that. Then pull this cover that's on the rope, pull it up, and pop this piece up out of the stop block. Slide it onto the rope. And reinstall that piece that we previously removed. Reinstall the bumper, make sure all the hardware is fully tightened, and that's how super easy it is. Install SuperATV's 4,500 pound winch and winch mount on this Kawasaki Teryx 4. For more information on the winch or winch mount, feel free to give us a call at 855-743-3427 or check us out online at SuperATV.com. Thanks for watching and have a great day.